Yes, very good afternoon. In the last class, we have started our topic that is transistors. Transistors. Every transistor is having the means transistors are nothing but having three parts here. Three parts you can see here: emitter, base, collector. We have the two types of transistors. One is PNP transistor, and the one is NPN transistor. If you see the symbol for these transistors, transistor is having the three terminals here. Resistors will have two terminals, capacitors will have two terminals, but the battery is having two terminals like this, but in the transistor will have the three terminals. One is simply as emitter, base and collector. Okay, and the main difference between these two transistors, that is NPN transistor and PNP transistor, is in which direction, or from the base to emitter or emitter to base, the charge carriers, means holes, positive charge carriers, moves. Okay, now if you see in the case of PNP transistor, means emitter is p-type semiconductor, base is n-type semiconductor, collector is also p-type semiconductor. I can write the arrow mark in this direction because the holes in PNP transistors moves from emitter to base. Got it here? Holes from PNP transistor moves from emitter to base. Means p-type have the more number of holes, but holes travels towards the base. In NPN transistor, emitter, base, collector. This is n-type, p-type and n-type. Correct? And now in this situation, the holes are more in the case of base because the p-type semiconductor, the current flows in the direction of holes, positive charge carriers, from base to emitter. That's the main difference between the PNP and NPN transistors here. Okay, now? After this, we have seen the common emitter configuration, right? Common emitter configuration. Okay, we have seen the different types of configurations also here. Yeah, common base configuration, common emitter configuration, common collector configuration, right? If you go for this, one is common base configuration. This is the common base configuration. Base is common for both. M, it means input, and output output. Correct? In this situation, we can take this one as a common base configuration. And next we'll have common emitter configuration here. Common emitter configuration in sense the emitter is common for both input and the output. I can give the input between the base and emitter, and I can take the output from a collector, between the collector and emitter. So this is called as common emitter configuration. And next one more is possibility is here, that is a common collector configuration here. So this is a collector, emitter and the base. So here I am giving the input between the base and the collector here. So and the output is taken between the collector and emitter. So we can take this one as a common collector configuration. So in this, in the last class we have seen this common emitter configuration here. How the input characteristics and output characteristics. The input characteristics in common emitter configuration, we get in the graph like this. Okay, input characteristics. And whereas coming to this output characteristics, I think so. Output characteristics, we have draw it here. Wait. Yeah, the output characteristics. The output characteristics of this common emitter configuration, and we are getting the graph like this. Correct now? So while studying the input characteristics, output voltage is kept constant because output voltage is measured between the emitter in this situation, emitter and collector. Output voltage is kept constant, and by changing this input voltage and input collector current, input current that is base current, we have drawn the graph there. Whereas coming to this, in this situation, while studying the output characteristics, output voltage is measured, means the output current is measured by keeping the input current constant here. Okay. From this, we have divided this graph into three parts. This is called as active region, and this is cutoff region, and this is saturation region. Correct now? Saturation region, right now. These are the basic rough idea about the common emitter configuration characteristics, input and output characteristics here. Okay, na? And now in this situation, if you observe here, the active region in sense, the current is increased by 10 times, means current has been amplified. Actually, the base current which we are giving is in microamperes, whereas the output current we are getting as milliamperes. Milliamperes. Collector current is more. It is heavily doped. That's why it is amplified. Understood here? Amplified. Actually, we are giving in microamperes, but we are getting in milliamperes current here. Okay, ma'am? Current has been amplified, increased. The ratio between the output current, the change in output current by the input current. Here in this situation, what is the output current? Collected current is output current. What is the input current here? Base is the input current. Sorry, emitter is the input current here. Correct? Whereas here in this situation, common emitter, what is the output current? Output current is delta IC collected current. Input current is base current. Okay, na? Whereas the output current here is IE, emitter we are taking the collected current here, whereas the input is given for the base. So this is IE. Correct? So current has been amplified. This is called as current gain in common base configuration. And this beta is defined as the current gain in the common emitter configuration. Gamma is a current gain in a common collector configuration here. Here we are having the three types of means. We have the three types of three different ways we can have the we can connect this transistor in between the input and output. So we can take this one as a we can connect them in a common base configuration or common emitter configuration, common collector configuration. In common base configuration, current gain alpha is equal to output current by input current. When this transistor is studied about in the active region, when we will get this active region here? When you are connecting this emitter base junction in emitter junction in forward bias and collector junction in reverse bias. And now when we will get this cutoff region here? When these two junctions are connected in reverse bias, then we will get this cutoff region. Now remember here, transistor will have the two junctions. This is called as emitter junction and this is called as collector junction. This collector junction can be connected in forward bias or it can be connected in reverse bias depending on the terminals which we are connecting. When you connect these two junctions in reverse bias, we get a cutoff region. When these two junctions are connected in forward bias, we get the saturation region. When one is connected in forward bias and the one is connected in reverse bias, then we will get the active region. Understood here? Active region. So when we are connecting like this, we get some current gain. What are the current gains? There we are having three types of current gains. One is alpha, which is called as current gain in the case of common base configuration, and the one is beta, the current gain in the case of common emitter configuration, and gamma is the current gain in the case of common collector configuration. Okay, now alpha is to delta is here. This output current we are taking at the collector, so an input is given at the emitter, whereas here the output current is taken at the collector. So output current by input current. Nothing but base is the input current. In this configuration, the output is taken at the emitter and input is given at the base. So that's what. Okay. So these are the some relations, or we can get the relation between alpha and beta also by simply using these two relations. And one more relation is as we know the IC is equal to IE is equal to what is IE? IE is equal to IB plus IC. With these two relations, we can get even the relation between these two also. Easy to get it, okay? You can, if you want, you can try them. I think so. Alpha by beta is equal to how much you get? Alpha by beta, something do that, we'll get answer, okay? Or we'll do it whatever. Yeah. Okay, what is alpha we are having here? IC by change in collector current by change in emitter current. Change delta IC indicates a change, okay? Right. Alpha. Delta IC means I want in terms of B, means I have to eliminate this IE. So right in the place of delta IE, I can write this expression as delta IB plus delta IC. Correct? Now I'll write this one as 1 by alpha. 1 by alpha is equal to delta IB by delta plus delta IC by delta IC. Just split it here. delta IB by delta IC plus 1. Correct na? So what can I write here? Delta IC by delta IB means see delta IB by IC means I can write this one as 1 by beta plus 1 over answer. Therefore I can get some relation here. 1 by alpha is equal to what I am getting here 1 plus beta by beta. Therefore alpha can be written as beta by beta plus 1. This is a relation which we will get here. Okay na? In this way we can get it. Okay, or we can write in terms of beta also, no problem. We will get beta is equal, I think so, alpha by alpha 1 minus alpha, I think so. Okay, so try to get some relations between these two. Means alpha, beta, gamma are the current gains in the case of common base configuration, common emitter configuration, common collector configuration. Right now, we have the one of the application on this transistor, on this NPN transistor, PNP transistor. That is we are having one application, that is a transistor as a switch. How the transistor used as a switch? That's what we have to check it now. Okay, na? How can we use this transistor as a switch? Okay, na? Let us imagine that here. What we are going to do here is before going that a switch, a bulb is there here, a battery is connected. Normally this is a switch, right? Bulb like this. When you close the switch, the bulb starts glowing, right? The bulb starts glowing here. Correct? When you open the switch, bulb will be in the off state. Okay, or we can say this one as an on state. Correct? On state. Right? Means in the closing situation, we'll have the resistance as 0. Correct? Current is flowing. Means no opposition. When it is in open state, I can say the switch is having the means it will offer infinite resistance, right? No current is passing here. Then the switch is open, no current pass. No current pass means infinite resistance, we can take it. Correct? So that's why we are taking in the open state, that we can consider this one as the switch offers infinite resistance here. The switch offers an infinite resistance when the switch is open. When the switch is closed, the resistance will offer a 0 resistance. How much? A 0 resistance, right? Now, similarly, the same working we are going to have here. What is a transistor as a switch? Let us see here now. Transistor as a switch. Now I am connecting this transistor. I am taking this NPN transistor. NPN transistor. This is N-type semiconductor and this is P-type semiconductor. This is N-type semiconductor. Correct, no? So this is the emitter. NPN transistor means we'll have the arrow mark like this because the current, the positive charge case moves from base to emitter. So this is the emitter and this is the base and this is the collector. Correct? Right? Common emitter configuration I am taking here. Right? Here I will have an ammeter which is used for measuring the current through this base, and here I am connecting this to a battery. This is called as emitter junction. Emitter junction should be always in forward bias. So this is base P-type semiconductor is connected to positive and this is connected to negative. Correct? That's what we are going to see. And now here I am having an ammeter which is used for measuring the current through the collector. See here the current from this base. I will take this one as BBB. I am taking base battery. What is it? Base battery. Okay. So the current from here goes like this, comes out. Okay, fine. And here ammeter. And how this is connected here? Collector junction is connected in reverse bias. Reverse bias means this is N-type semiconductor. N-type semiconductor is connected to the positive terminal of the battery, nothing but high potential of the battery. Then I can say this is in reverse bias condition, right? Reverse bias condition. So this is in reverse bias condition here. So this is the current from here starts and moves like this. This is the collector current. This current and this current starts flows through this emitter. Correct enough? So the current here is, we can write IE is equal to IB plus IC. IE is equal to IB plus IC. This is the means, okay. Now actually I think we have a voltmeter connected between these two current, VBE, which is used for measuring the potential difference between this emitter and base, okay. And we have connected one voltmeter between these two also, right, which is used for measuring the collector emitter voltage to find the potential difference between the collector and emitter, right now. So that means I can simply say that here the potential difference between the base and emitter is VBE, and the potential difference between the collector and emitter is VC, correct enough? Some potential drop will be there, so that is the VC I am taking here, and whereas the potential difference between the base and emitter is VBE. Let's take it, okay. Now I am having a battery in this. This battery is taken as we can write as VBC, no problem here, okay. But VBC means base and collector will have some issue. That's why we are writing this one as VCC. If you write as VBC, it's a potential difference between B and C. You commonly take it as. That's why what we are doing is collector battery we are writing as VCC. Okay, na? VCC. Follow a general notation. Okay, fine. One more time here. This is a emitter junction. Emitter junction should be connected in forward bias, so it is N-type and this is P-type semiconductor. Okay. Now what applications we are going to see? Switch, amplifier and a feedback amplifier and oscillator, totally on this common emitter configuration only here. The graph which we got in the output characteristics of the common emitter configuration, basing on that only we'll have these applications, okay? Right, fine. Forward bias, and whereas the collector junction is connected in reverse bias. In reverse bias emissions, N-type is connected to this one. Correct? Huh? Okay, fine, that's all. Now, if you apply a voltage law for this loop here, just apply a voltage law for this loop here. Kirchhoff voltage law. Remember, Kirchhoff voltage law. When you are going in a current direction, your potential drop, opposite direction current voltage gain. Okay, when you are going from positive terminal of the battery to negative terminal of the battery, it's a voltage drop. When you are going from negative terminal of the battery to high potential of the battery, positive terminal of the battery, voltage gain, I can say. In this situation, if you observe like this, so voltage gain here plus VB, B, and you are going in the current direction. So current direction means potential drop VB RB. VB RB. Resistance of this base, the base we can check it. They'll have some opposition will be there. Just some resistance will be there. These wires will have some resistance. That resistance we can take it. And next, coming from the base to E, you are going in this cyclic, in this procedure, means some potential drop is there between B and E. Correct? In the current direction, potential drop only. So minus VB and come here is equal to 0. Understood here how I am applying the voltage law? VBB minus IBRB minus VBE is equal to 0. Correct? What will get here? VBB is equal to how much here? IBRB plus VB. Correct? This is the input voltage. I can take it as input voltage. Correct? And this is the input voltage here. Right? So which I am giving here, right? Right, fine. Now, let us see. Apply the voltage law for this loop in this direction. Like this. Okay? Apply it. Apply the voltage law for this here. VCC minus, you are going in the direction of current, IC, RC. Okay? And next, here I will have some potential difference. Potential difference between the collector and emitter is VC minus VC is equal to 0. Now commonly the output is taken between this collector and emitter. Where we are taking the output, we are giving the input between the base and emitter. This is the input which we are giving, and we have to collect the output voltage. Output we have to take between the emitter and collector because it's a common emitter configuration. The potential difference between these emitter and collector is nothing but common output, nothing but VC is equal to from here. VC is equal to VCC minus ICRC. Means I can write this one as output. I'll tell you one more time here, listen here. I am taking this VBB as input. Means we have to give input. We are giving the input between the base and emitter with the battery. Correct? I am giving the input between the base and emitter with a battery. What is the battery power supply I am giving here? VBB. That's why I am taking the VBB as a input here. Why I am taking this VBB as the input here? Because it is the input is given between the base and emitter. So that is given in the form of a battery with the help of a battery. So I am taking the VBB as the input value, input voltage. Whereas the output is taken between the collector and emitter. Should be taken between the output between the collector and emitter in common emitter configuration. Okay na? Means the potential difference between the emitter and collector must be V0. I am not taking VCC as the output here. VCC is a battery which we are giving here externally. But we have to take the output, how much output I am getting here. Got it here? So that's why I am taking this VC as the output. Understood the point here? Right, fine. Next step. Now in this situation, this is a basic theory we can say here. What is happening here? Actually, how can we set this one as a switch? That's what we have to study now, okay? See here in this circuit in common the configuration, as we connected here, this is by applying the voltage law. And how the current directions are flowing, applying the voltage law, I got the two expressions here. From these two expressions, how can we say it is working as a switch? In sense, very important pointer. Just listen once, okay? Very carefully. Now, I have remembered this input characteristics of a common emitter configuration here. The input characteristics of a common emitter configuration are like this, right? What is this here? Barrier potential I have remembered. Barrier potential. First, for flow of the charge, the input voltage must be more than the barrier potential. Then only we will have the some output, or else there is no output. Confirm enough? Understood here? So, when the barrier potential, when the applied voltage is less than the barrier potential, let's consider the input is V in is less than the barrier potential. What happens? When the input is this barrier, this is the variable voltage, let's consider. Okay, gradually from 0, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3 like this. If you go for a germanium, the barrier potential, barrier voltage is 0.7 volts or 0.6 we can take, 0.6 take it. And whereas the for germanium 0.3 and for silicon it is 0.6 here. Correct? Let's consider if it is a diode which is of basically made of a silicon. Let's imagine that. For silicon, the barrier potential is 0.6. But the applied voltage here, how much here? Less than this 0.6. Then what happens here? No current flows. Understand the point here? If the input voltage, nothing but VBB, input voltage is less than the barrier potential, then what happens? No current flows. Means input current is 0. Understood? Input current is 0. When input current is 0, output current is also 0. When there is no input current, then what happens? There is no output current also. Understanding? I'll tell you one more point here. One more time, listen. When this input voltage is less than the barrier potential, there is no input current, means base current becomes 0. When base current, input current is 0, there is no output at all. So output is also 0. Correct enough? When IC becomes 0, what happens to this expression? Right here, IC is equal to 0. Then when IC is 0, what happens here? Output is equal to VCC. Output is equal to VCC. Output is there. Understood here? Understand here? Okay now? I'll tell you one more time. When the input is less than the barrier potential, input current is 0. Input current is 0 means output current is 0. When the output current is 0, V0 is equal to VCC means there is no potential drop at all in this circuit. What is it here? There is no potential drop. When there is no potential drop, what can we say? Correct? Switch is off. Correct? Understand here? As we have drawn already one diagram here. This is a switch. A bulb is connected. A battery is there. Here a switch is there. This is the bulb. Okay. When the switch is open, there is no potential drop at the bulb. Correct? No current flows. When there is no current flows, there is no potential drop. From this expression, what can I say? There is no potential drop. So it is called as a cutoff state. What is it? Cutoff state. There is no potential drop. When the switch is open, no current flows in the circuit, no glowing of the bulb. The bulb will be in the off state. Which state here? Off state. So this is called as cutoff state. Very important. Listen one more time. When the input voltage is less than the barrier potential, the charge carriers are not having the sufficient energy to cross it. Okay. And input current is 0. So charge carriers cannot move. The applied voltage must be more than the barrier potential, then only the current flows. But the input voltage which I am giving is less than the barrier. So input current is 0. When the input current is 0, output current is 0. When the output current is 0, what I am getting? V0 is equal to VCC. Means no potential drop is there here. No potential drop. No potential drop means it was in a cutoff state. When the switch is opened, what happens here? The bulb does not glow. Bulb is not glowing means what can I say simply here? The bulb is in off state. Understood here? That's why I am taking this one as a cutoff state. Switch. Understood here? Now let's consider. This is the one case. Very important thing. Okay? Fine. Next, the second situation I am taking here is if V input is greater than or equal to barrier potential. Greater than the barrier potential, what happens? Tell me. When the input, when I am giving this potential, VBB is more than the barrier potential, then what happens? The current in the base is going to be increased. Current flows. It's not equal to 0. When this current is increasing, what happens? Increases, current is not equal to 0. Then IC is also not equal to 0. IC is also not equal to 0. That is, IB is not equal to 0. And IC is also not equal to 0. Correct? Understood here? Let's consider a situation of this output characteristics. I will study this output characteristics. Output characteristics. We are getting the saturation current, right? What is this current? Saturation current. For different inputs, I am getting the saturation current IC. Correct? This IC, saturation current I am getting here. Means maximum current is flowing. Means I becomes maximum. Means at this situation, this reaches the maximum in sense. At some situations, we'll get this IC and RC. IC, RC may be equal to VCC, where this output becomes 0. Understood here? Output becomes 0. Means the bulb means output voltage becomes 0. Output voltage becomes 0 means what is the meaning of that one? Total potential has been dropped at the collector itself. Understood here? See here, the total voltage of this battery has been dropped at this. Means there is no potential difference between these two. Means total potential has been dropped, which is called as on state. Means total potential is dropped means nothing but current is flowing. Current is flowing means on state. Understood here? So this transistor can be used as a on and off states, means as a switch. I'll tell you one more time reason. If the input voltage is less than the barrier potential, the input current is 0. When input current is 0, output current is 0. When output current is 0, okay na? No potential drop. When there is no potential drop, IC becomes 0, V0 is equal to VCC. Nothing but no potential is getting dropped. It means it was in off state, cut off state, I can take it, right? And next, when this input voltage is greater than the barrier potential, there is a current flow in the input, and this current causes there will be some output of the current, and the current increases, maximum saturation current reaches. When this saturation current reaches, there is no change in the current. When there is no change in the current, what happens? Total potential will be dropped here. It is called as the output state, on state we can take, right? So we can take this one as a transistor, as a switch. Understood here? When the barrier potential is, when the input voltage is more than the barrier potential, there is a current in the IB is not equal to 0. IB increases, and commonly what happens? IC is going to be increased. Current will be their output, and some situation these two may be equal, means reaches the maximum current. Means when these two are equal, output voltage becomes 0, means there is no potential drop between these two. When there is no potential drop, it is on state. The total current is utilized here. So that's what we can take this one as a transistor, as a switch. Transistor as a switch. How the transistor works as a switch. That's what. Okay. In the next video, we will see this transistor as an amplifier like this. Okay, na? Try to understand them clearly. Okay, na? Bye. Take care.